Like we talked about in our locker room after the game ended, where obviously people were pretty disappointed in the outcome. I think it gave us a taste of where we wanted to be. At the same time, I felt like we could have done a little bit more to help it get back here for a game 3, and that's what really kind of stunk about the whole thing.
Caitlin Clark, known for her incredible skills on the basketball court, shocked everyone by quitting the WNBA live on TV. Fans were left speechless because she had been breaking records and showing unmatched dedication to the game. Could there be something bigger behind her choice that we don't know about? Let's reveal the real reason behind this move that will change the sport's history for generations to come. The truth behind her sudden exit. People started guessing why she would leave so suddenly. Caitlin Clark isn't just a talented basketball player. She's also an athlete whose influence reaches beyond the basketball court. Her legacy is shaped by her impressive skills, strong commitment, and the real bond she has with her fans. As her fame grows, so does the attention she gets, which includes both praise and, unfortunately, some negative reactions. While many people admire her as a pioneering talent, others, driven by racist motives, have targeted her with hostility. Despite these challenges, Caitlin keeps her focus on her sport, showing gratitude to her fans and staying positive. Before we dive deeper, it's clear that the story behind Caitlin's exit is far more complicated than anyone realized, and what comes next might just leave you even more shocked. In this piece, we will look at her career, the support and criticism she receives, how she connects with her fans, and the real stories behind the rumors that follow her. Caitlin Clark's basketball career started in West Des Moines, Iowa, where she first showed her exceptional talent. She stood out in high school basketball and soon became well known across the country. She went on to play for the University of Iowa's women's basketball team, where she became famous. Her time on the court included incredible games, amazing three-point shots, and she showed leadership qualities that seemed beyond her years. It was clear to anyone watching that Caitlin was a special talent, destined for big things. When Caitlin joined the WNBA, she was already well known. Her college years had set her up for a professional career that was eagerly anticipated, and she did not disappoint. Her ability to dominate games and lead her team made her a topic of conversation in the sports world. Her strong will to win and never give up attitude won her many fans, and her down-to-earth nature off the court made her a beloved figure. Despite being loved by many, Caitlin also faced criticism, some of which was influenced by racism. In a sport often dominated by black athletes, Caitlin's rise as a successful white athlete drew a lot of attention, both supportive and critical. While her talent is undeniable, the negative attention she received sometimes showed people's biases rather than her abilities as a player. Caitlin, however, never let the negativity define her. She always focused on her game and chose to rise above the negative comments. She knows about the racial issues in sports, but has always aimed to show her worth through her hard work and dedication. The criticism, sometimes coming from a place of prejudice, was met with grace by Caitlin. She rarely responds to the negative comments, preferring to let her performance in games prove her worth. What makes Caitlin stand out is not just her ability to deal with tough situations, but also how she connects with her fans. She has built a strong, supportive fan base that admires her not just for her basketball skills, but also for her behavior off the court. Whether signing autographs, taking pictures with fans, or spending time with young supporters, Caitlin's commitment to her fans is clear. She understands the importance of her role and uses her position to motivate the next generation of athletes, especially young girls who want to be like her. A significant part of Caitlin's relationship with her fans is how open and accessible she is. Despite her fame, she remains approachable and willing to interact with her fans, whether at games, charity events, or online. This genuine connection has made her one of the most relatable athletes in women's sports. Her fans often talk about how genuine she is, and it's clear that Caitlin takes her role as a role model very seriously. For Caitlin, the support from her fans is extremely important. She frequently talks about how much their support means to her, especially the young girls who see her as a role model. Having had her own role models growing up, Caitlin now finds herself in that position for others, a responsibility she handles with great care. Her kindness, humility, and commitment to excellence make her a prime example of what a good role model should be in today's sports world. As Caitlin's story goes on, what comes next might not just surprise you, but show a side of her that most people don't know. The real story behind her future. As Caitlin's fame continues to grow, so do the rumors about her personal life and career choices. However, as she navigates through her evolving career, her story continues to inspire and attract many, showing the impact of her presence in the world of sports and beyond. Lately, there's been talk that Caitlin Clark might leave the WNBA or that she's unhappy with her team. These rumors stirred up discussions about her future in basketball. But really, there's no solid proof to these claims. The idea that Caitlin would think about leaving the WNBA after achieving so much in so little time is just wild guesswork. Caitlin has always shared how much she loves basketball and wants to keep doing well in the WNBA. She has clear goals, and leaving the sport now doesn't fit with her plans. We should remember that rumors like these are common around famous athletes, especially when they're doing really well. For Caitlin, these rumors are just distractions, and she stays focused on her game and her fans. Caitlin Clark, known for her impressive basketball skills, recently was in the news for something very personal and touching. She hugged a young girl who was about to pass away. This hug tells us a lot about Caitlin's character and the special bond she had with this fan. The young girl admired Caitlin, seeing her as a symbol of strength and resilience. Caitlin's caring gesture in the girl's last moments was a beautiful tribute to their connection. This emotional moment touched many people deeply. Besides her amazing skills on the basketball court, Caitlin Clark is also known for her kind heart and dedication to her community. Her rise to fame in sports has made her a role model for young athletes and fans all over. But it's her work off the court that really shows who she is. She particularly connects with kids who are dealing with serious health issues, bringing hope and happiness to their families during tough times. Her charity work, including visits to places like the Peyton Manning Children's Hospital and the Stead Family Children's Hospital, has impacted many lives. Caitlin's basketball path started in West Des Moines, Iowa, where she first stood out as a top high school athlete. Her hard work and talent got her a spot on the University of Iowa's women's basketball team, where she continued to excel and lead her team to wins. Even as she became well known for her basketball excellence, Caitlin never lost focus on what's important to her family, community, and making a difference. A big part of her impact is how she interacts with kids in hospitals. Unlike some athletes who might just visit for a photo, Caitlin's approach is personal and genuine. She really connects with the kids and their families, offering comfort and joy during their difficult times. These hospital visits are a big part of her life off the court and show a different side of her than the competitive player we see in games. One unforgettable hospital visit was to the Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, where Caitlin spent time in the neonatal intensive care unit. Here, babies face big health challenges, and it's a really hard time for their families. Caitlin's visit brought relief and happiness to these families and the hospital staff. She took her time to connect with everyone, the parents, nurses, and especially the children. She brought smiles and light to the hospital, leaving a lasting impression. These moments show how caring Caitlin is and how she leads with kindness, just like she leads her team on the court. Caitlin also frequently visits the University of Iowa's Stead Family Children's Hospital, known for treating kids with all sorts of health issues, from cancer to long-term illnesses. Her regular visits have made her more than just a great athlete. They've shown she's a role model who truly cares about the kids she meets. One special visit was with a young girl fighting a tough illness. With every win on the court, Caitlin's actions off the court mean just as much. But what happened next touched many hearts. The caring side of the player. The girl, a big fan of Caitlin and the Iowa Hawkeyes, had been looking forward to meeting her basketball hero. When they finally met, it was emotional for everyone. Caitlin talked with the girl about basketball and life and gave her some tips. This visit was a highlight in what had been a hard time for the girl and her family. Caitlin Clark doesn't just shine as a basketball player. She also makes a big impact off the court. Her involvement with sick children and her regular hospital visits are part of what makes her stand out not just as an athlete, but as a person. Through her actions, she shows her deep care for others and her desire to make a positive change in the world. Her story is not just about sports success. It's about compassion, connection, and the difference one person can make in the lives of others. Caitlin's impact on people is deep and lasting, especially through her regular visits to hospitals and her involvement in charity work. She actively takes part in fundraising for children's hospitals and supports initiatives helping families in need. Caitlin believes that her public role is not just about her, but about helping others. Raised with strong family and community values, she thinks real success means lifting others up as you rise. Caitlin manages to keep a perfect balance between her intense basketball schedule and her charitable work. Even with a packed routine of practices, games, and schoolwork as a college athlete, she always makes time to help others. This shows she's great at managing her time, but more importantly, it shows she puts her charity work high on her list. Caitlin could just focus on becoming a better basketball player, but she knows her influence reaches beyond the court. Her effect is not just on the children she meets in hospitals, but also on young athletes, particularly girls who see her as a role model. Caitlin's dedication, hard work, and kindness show what it means to be a top athlete and a good person. She shows young girls that it's possible to be great in sports and still make a positive impact in the world. As Caitlin's career advances, it's clear her legacy will be about more than just her basketball skills. Her work with children and her dedication to charity work have already changed many lives. The basketball community is buzzing because Caitlin Clark was just named the best player in the history of the sport. Her thrilling games and ability to dominate have set new standards for what it means to be the best. This moment is a big one in basketball history, pushing us to think again about what greatness really means. Now in the spotlight, Caitlin's influence is spreading through the sport, inspiring new players and sparking debates about who really is the greatest of all time. Soon, the Indiana Fever will pick Caitlin first in the WNBA draft, recognizing her incredible skills and potential. There's a charming story from when she was in the 2nd grade. Caitlin wrote down on a worksheet that her dream was to play in the WNBA one day. Her mother has kept that worksheet all these years. Caitlin Clark being named the top player has really shaken up the basketball world. It's a huge honor that has everyone celebrating, debating, and reflecting on how the sport has changed over time. To really grasp what this means, we need to look at Caitlin's impact on basketball and what such recognition means against the backdrop of the sport's rich history. From her early days impressing everyone in high school to ruling the college basketball scene, Caitlin has always pushed boundaries and exceeded what people thought possible. For instance, in a memorable game against LSU, she proved why many say she's the best female college player ever. Caitlin's style of play mixes precise shooting, smart plays, and athletic moves. She's known for her three-point shooting, leading the offense, and making big plays when it counts most. Time and again, Caitlin shows she's a rare talent. She plays with confidence and a clear purpose, captivating fans and critics alike. She seems to always be ahead of the game, knowing what will happen next, which shows her deep understanding of basketball and physical abilities, making her tough for opponents and a favorite of coaches. While Caitlin's basketball skills stand out, the moments that shape her most could come from the challenges she faces away from the game. Caitlin Clark's path to greatness. Her path to the top is filled with moments where she rose to meet challenges, proving herself over and over. From being compared to the greats in high school to showing she was destined for big things in college, Caitlin's path has been nothing short of impressive. Caitlin Clark's ability to shine in important games has really defined her basketball career. Whether she's nailing a clutch shot or guiding her team through tough games, Caitlin has shown time and again that she can be relied on when it counts the most. Making decisions about her future was hard. It felt like she could win or lose either way, because she had to give up something no matter what. She decided to announce her plans before senior night to feel some closure, as she looked forward to tackling new challenges. Just looking at Caitlin's stats, you can tell she's not your average player. She has smashed records, set new ones, and consistently stayed at the top of almost every major stat category. But there's more to her success than just the numbers. Caitlin isn't just playing the game, she's changing it. In a sport once led by greats like Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, and Maya Moore, Caitlin's rise is both a sign of her amazing talent and the changes in women's basketball. The game today is faster, tougher, and more competitive than it ever was. The players have gotten better, the teams are stronger, and the overall level of play has really gone up. Being recognized as one of the greatest in such a tough environment says a lot about Caitlin. Besides her skills on the court, she's also become a big influence off the court. She's a role model for younger players, showing them that you can excel in sports and be a great leader too. Her presence has drawn more fans to women's basketball and increased its visibility. Caitlin is now a big part of women's basketball, shaping its future. But with her success comes the inevitable comparisons to past legends, leading to debates about whether she's the greatest of all time. Some say Caitlin's impact is unmatched and that she's taken the sport to new levels. Others point out the pioneers who set the stage for today's players, arguing that their contributions were just as important. These comparisons are tricky because each era of basketball had its own challenges and stars. Early legends like Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, and Tamika Catchings were trailblazers, pushing the sport forward at a time when it was still fighting for recognition. Their legacies made it possible for players like Caitlin to reach new heights. One of Caitlin's standout moments was when she hit a shot from almost half court. Moments like these not only get fans excited, but also show her ability to handle pressure. There's also ongoing speculation about whether she'll go pro or stay in college, which keeps everyone talking and adds an exciting layer to her story. What makes Caitlin truly stand out is how she's forging her own path, pushing past what was thought possible and setting new standards for those who will follow. Her position as potentially the best player ever isn't just about her skills, it's about the progress of all those who came before her and the new directions she's setting. Caitlin's prominence also highlights the broader issues in women's sports. Her achievements show that women's basketball is exciting, competitive, and deserving of the same respect as men's sports. Her rise to the top is not just a personal victory, but a win for the whole sport, signaling that it's finally getting the recognition it deserves. However, being named the best comes with its own pressures. Caitlin now faces huge expectations. Every game she plays and every move she makes are watched closely, and she's judged against the very high standards set by her and others. Handling this pressure is a big part of what will define her legacy. So far, Caitlin appears ready to meet these challenges head-on. Her ability to perform under pressure and her influence on and off the court suggest that she will continue to impact the sport for a long time, shaping not just how it's played, but also its cultural and social significance. Is Caitlin Clark's decision to quit the WNBA simply personal, or is there something more going on behind the scenes? Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.